Tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang sami. So all the people gathered here on this Sunday Dhamma program. Many of you have already attended retreats at our Madhuta Vihara, Narsipura, which is a beautiful place to allow your mind to come down and see the reality of our lives. And as you see, you are sitting here or listening to Dhamma. And if I were to tell you that you are already listening, but how you listen is what matters. You are already learning the Dhamma. As you sit here, facing this side, some air is flowing, maybe a little hot, or maybe some people feeling not so hot. Just right here. If you feel hot, what feeling it comes? What feeling you experience? If you feel cold, what feeling you experience? Not just with the body, no? Not just with the mind. Because feelings are associated with mind. If you beat a dead person with stick, or if you they burn the dead body, they don't complain. No, dead body does not complain. Why are you burning? It is painful like this. Because feelings are associated with the mind. So if there is no mental involvement, then there is no understanding of the feeling. So as you feel the air, feel the hot, feel the cold, how the mind goes. Mind goes to liking, mind goes to disliking. So this is all Dhamma. Dhamma is what? The truth of our life, how our life actually is, what it really is, and how to go beyond this suffering. Now, we all have the feelings. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, sometimes neutral feeling. Most people, it is not easy to understand the neutral feeling unless you have a high level of sati, samadhi. Not always easy to understand the neutral feeling, maybe, but pleasant, unpleasant feeling, you all understand. And the feelings, as I said, are associated with the mind. And then when they come, when they appear, these feelings, how the mind is, how the nature of the mind. Exactly at that moment of time, what arises? Liking arises, disliking arises. And when liking, disliking arises, what happens? This is the dukkha right here. There is no stability, no balance. It goes to the left or it goes to the right. So the dukkha arya sacha is right here. Right here, right now, every day, every moment. Dukkha arya sacha, dukkha samudaya arya sacha. You have heard many times. Noble truth of suffering, noble truth of cause of suffering or arising of suffering. You've heard like this. But then this is right here within our own heart at this moment. As you see it, sit for some time and then your back maybe starts paining our legs or back or shoulder or something, and you feel little discomfort. You adjust the body to change the posture, and then again after some time, again some discomfort arises in the body. But not just in the body, in the mind also. The mind is grasping at it. So this is when I said you are hearing the Dhamma. Dhamma is right here. But you cannot hear all these things, the pleasant, the unpleasant, the unsatisfactoriness of things, all these, you cannot hear just with your ears. Nobody can hear them with the ears. Words can be heard through your ears, but the meanings cannot be. If I say you are feeling unsatisfactoriness of some kind or the other, you understand, I am feeling unsatisfactoriness of some kind or the other right now. Okay, that is just the word, a sentence. It's a sentence. But then that's not Dhamma. It's a sentence. It means the dukkha and the dukkha samudaya, are the suffering and the cause of suffering is here. So we have to, that's why you practice meditation. No? Practice meditation. Train the mind to hear the Dhamma wherever you are, whatever you feel, whatever you experience. How do you experience? If I were to ask you, how do you experience? How do you experience? Through these six senses: eye and the ear, and nose and tongue, and body and the mind. I can see things, pleasant, unpleasant, whatever you feel, pleasant, unpleasant. Ear can hear the sound. Nose can get the smell. But then they all have a connection with our mind. It all then goes back to our mind. The pleasant side or the unpleasant side. The pleasant sound or the unpleasant sound. The pleasant smell or the unpleasant smell. They all go back right into our heart. That's where the dissatisfaction arises. If it is satisfactory, then it would just, you'd feel happy. For example, you sit on the cushion, you feel happy. Okay, pleasant. It feels pleasant. But then after some time, it is no longer pleasant. So when I say hear the Dhamma, hear like this. Hear with your heart that this is not stable. Sitting on the cushion is not stable. Sitting on the chair is not stable. Sitting on the sofa is not stable. Sitting on the or lying on the bed is not stable. On the contrary, the whole perception of the world is it is stable. That's why people do so many things. People do so many things, or people wish to do so many things simply because they think it is stable. That's the deep rooted ignorance that is guiding our general perception. Stable. If I were to do this, it would be stable. If I were to get good marks, it would be stable. If I were to get good job, it would be stable. If I were to have a family, it would be stable. If I were to have children, it would be stable. If I were to have this or that, or whatever material possessions or worldly possessions or name or fame or anything, it would be stable. That's how we are cheated by our own ignorance. It would be stable. It would be good. At this point of time, it would be good. No, it would not be good if I were to tell. It would never be good enough. This body can never be good enough because the body is changing. It is not supposed to be good enough. This body made up of four elements: solidity and liquidity and gas and heat. And then these four elements, they always change depending on the food, depending on the weather, depending on our actions, the results of our actions, depending on the state of our mind. They're changing. So the body will always change. That's why the baby is born and the baby grows up. Baby grows up. Baby has to eat. Baby has to drink. And then baby has to urinate, excrement. And then slowly, baby will grow up. But then growing up is also a problem. Now there are people who are maybe advanced in years, little aged. But were you always like this, or were you small children at some point of time? You all were small children, no? And then suddenly we become young people, and then middle aged people, and then old people, and then dead body. Dead body, yeah. Who has doubt? This body will not become a dead body. I can guarantee this body will become a dead body. All of these bodies right here. It's natural. But then the mind isn't tuned to understand this. There is no wisdom. So the practice of Dhamma is to hear it, allow our heart to hear the changing nature right in the body. You eat breakfast and then you feel hungry during lunchtime. The changing nature. You drink water and then you feel thirsty. Someday you digest the food, someday you cannot digest the food. It's all changing right here. So the mind, we say training of the mind, training of the mind, training of the mind to see this with ease. Untrained mind, then it grasps. Whatever it feels, it says, I. Body is feeling well, I. Body is not feeling well, I. Mind is feeling well, I. Mind is not feeling well, I. Then when it is I, then there must be I am suffering. And the suffering will surely be there. But then we are obsessed. I mean, we are kind of our mind has been tuned in such a way that it generally goes back to the I. That's why whatever practice we do is to reduce the sense of I. You practice dana is to reduce the sense of I, to let go some of this I. If you have too much of I, then you will say, no, this is my money, I'm not giving to anybody. When you practice the sila, you let go of a sense of, I want this, I want to drink, I want to tell lies. No, this reduce that sense of I want to be harmful, I want to eat or kill or whatever. Reduce the sense of I. When you practice bhavana meditation, many of you have just concluded the retreat. You observe the breath, you observe the bodily sensations, or you observe the mind, whatever. But then I'm observing my breath. No. If you always do like this, then you can practice for 200 years observing the breath and it will still be no good. Observing just the breath as it comes in breath, as it goes out breath. Simple. Then you know after some time, oh, just the in breath and the out breath. Just like in breath and the out breath, everything is also like this. Changing all things. Not I, just the body, just the mind. Then, so that's why we train. That's why we practice the Dhamma, to see as it is, things as they really are. Sometimes people, sometimes people may not, may not, uh, may not be, may not have heard too much of Dhamma, or may not have. In Lord Buddha's time, also there are people, there are many instances who didn't study too much or didn't know much Dhamma, but heard few words and understood right there everything, because they were hearing the Dhamma through their heart, not just through the ears. They were using their heart to hear the truth as it is, not denying it, not running away from it, not turning to the other side, but seeing, okay, this is what it is. If it is impermanent, okay, let it be impermanent. If it is unsatisfactory, then let it be unsatisfactory. It has to be unsatisfactory, no? If it is all satisfactory, whatever you have done in your life, if it is everything were satisfactory, then you wouldn't be coming and sitting here for sure. Then you don't have any suffering, dissatisfaction. Why would you need to come here? No need. Be at ease. Wherever you go, be at ease. That's right. That's the Dhamma. There is something unsatisfactory. Then we wouldn't even become monks if everything was satisfactory. Then there is no need to become monks. So why become monks? To end suffering only, no? Why become good upasakas, upasikas? To end suffering only. But if there is no suffering, why? No need. Why do I care? Because of this, because of unsatisfactoriness. But then unsatisfactoriness has to be recognized. When you eat, you go with your family and you go and have nice lunch or dinner, or you go and watch a movie and come back. Sometimes people on the way back starts fighting even before they have reached their homes. Or sometimes they reach their homes and start fighting. Or they may be fighting the next day. Because if it was all good and satisfactory, you wouldn't have to look for another thing. So allow our heart to see this reality, Dhamma. Allow. Otherwise, people wouldn't fight with each other. Otherwise, if there's all satisfactory, people wouldn't just fight with each other. Satisfactory. Why would they fight? Their heart is satisfied. But then they fight. Parents fight with their children. Children fight with their parents. Husband and wife fight with each other. Brothers and sisters fight with each other. Friends fight with each other. Relatives fight with each other. Known people and unknown people fight with each other. They wouldn't do that. Because of this, they're not at ease. Not at ease because there is dissatisfaction, and then they don't know how to end this. So they give rise to more craving in one sense or the other. From one object of liking or disliking to another object of disliking, liking or disliking. Then it's like it was little hot, and then it becomes more hot, and then it becomes boiling. Starts boiling. So that is no way to find the solution. It is what exactly Lord Buddha was telling. You can put a lot of things in your heart, but this is not how you will find the solution. You have to clean it up, clear it up, make it empty, make it absolutely clean. Then solution is right there. Okay. For example, you sit So watch, observe the breath. In breath, out breath, mind is little peaceful. Mind is little peaceful. And you are not thinking too many things, not too many thoughts, maybe just one or two passing thoughts. And then mind is peaceful. And then contemplate right there. If I am not thinking too much, I am not being burdening the mind with too much of liking and disliking, then it can find some peacefulness, some bit of release right here. So everything that we do, if we do wisely, correctly, mindfully, then everything is dhamma. If you feel hot or cold, is dhamma. If you feel good or bad, is dhamma. If you feel happy or unhappy, it is dhamma. Because everything is going back to the mind, going back to your heart, going back to the anicca dukkha anatta, which you are not seeing there. But if you are seeing there, then this is dhamma. So ignorance is like putting a blind on our eye or inner eye, not the outer eye. To remove that ignorance, only we practice. We have perceptions. Person good, bad, this thing will be good, this thing will be bad. Ultimately, all comes to only these three things: anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's all. Good things and bad things. Good things also anicca, dukkha, anatta, just as much as the bad things. Good things were nicca and sukha, then they would stay with us. They would stay with us. Sometimes it is so funny, no? Like you have seen, no? People make people make such a big program when people get married. Yeah? They hire a lot of people and decorate and all and feeding and this big ceremony and all. And sometimes not even and then spend a huge amount of money, and sometimes in months or even in less than a year the husband and the wife starts fighting with each other like cats and dogs. Why is this? Simply because of the nature of things, anicca, dukkha, anatta. It was always supposed to be like this. Nobody has made, somebody has made it bad from outside. No, it was always supposed to change. That's all. So, so when we train the heart to see, okay, this is changing, this is anicca, it is dukkha, it is unsatisfactory, not dependable. I want to depend on this, but it is not. And then, if that is the case, then who's suffering? If this is not just suffering arising and passing away, then it is really me, or is just the suffering? That's why in the Paticca Samuppada, Paticca Nirodha, the dependent origination and dependent cessation. At the end of the day, Lord Buddha is saying, Evametasya kevalasya dukkha khandasya samudayo hoti, evametasya kevalasya dukkha khandasya nirodho hoti. This is how the whole suffering arises. This is how the whole suffering ceases. He's not saying this is how the beings arise, this is how the being cease. No. He's saying this is the whole mass of suffering arises. This is how the whole mass of suffering ceases. He didn't say this is how beings are arising. Say like so. When you practice, practice for just this purpose, to hear the Dhamma, not just with the ears, but with everything, everything, all the good and bad things. Hear the Dhamma every moment. Then this is right way of training. Then everything will teach you Dhamma. You go to a nice garden, see a lot of beautiful trees, and then you understand it is like this. When you go to a very deserted place, maybe just a desert like Rajasthan or somewhere, no trees, it is like this. This is just like this. Things are just like. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, both this and that. Nothing really excellent or horrible about it. Just this. So, this is the message that you must train your mind in the right way. See the Dhamma as it really is. Not otherwise, we have many levels. I do this meditation, I do that meditation, I do samatha, I do vipassana, I follow this method, I follow that method. All these is labels. This is not Dhamma. Train your heart to contact the Dhamma. When the suffering arises, know it as it is. When the cessation of suffering arises, know it as it is. Moment to moment. This is Dhamma. This is the real Dhamma that Lord Buddha wanted us to look and understand. May you be able to practice like this, and may you all progress path of Dhamma up to the attainment of Nibbana. So,
If you have bought some dana, you can come forward and offer to the